Aramaic Apocalypse. The Aramaic Apocalypse is a fragmentary text from the Jewish apocalyptic tradition, written in Aramaic, a Semitic language widely spoken in the Jewish world during the Second Temple period. Although much of the text is lost or incomplete, the surviving portions offer visions concerning the fate of the world, the final judgment, and the resurrection of the dead. This apocalypse reflects many of the common themes found in apocalyptic literature, such as the destiny of the righteous and the wicked, and divine intervention in history. The Aramaic Apocalypse was likely composed between the 2nd century BC and the 1st century AD, a period when Jewish communities were under foreign rule and faced increasing political and religious pressures. The use of Aramaic as the language of the text is significant, as it was commonly spoken by Jewish communities in both Palestine and Babylonia. This suggests that the text was intended for an audience familiar with the shared tradition of apocalyptic and eschatological literature. Aramaic apocalyptic literature includes some of the most important texts from the Second Temple period, such as the Dead Sea Scrolls, which contain apocalypses and eschatological texts exploring Israel's destiny and divine intervention in history. The Aramaic Apocalypse belongs to this tradition, though its fragmentary nature makes it challenging to fully interpret its content. The Aramaic Apocalypse describes visions of the final judgment and the fate of nations. Like other apocalypses, the text uses symbolic and vivid language to depict the end of times, including the intervention of angels, the destruction of wicked nations, and the resurrection of the righteous. Although much of the text is missing, some key themes can be identified that reflect common eschatological concerns in Jewish apocalyptic literature. These include the judgment of nations that have oppressed Israel, the restoration of God's people, and the resurrection of the dead, who will be rewarded or punished based on their actions in life. The text also reflects a belief in direct divine intervention in human history. At the end of times, God will act to judge the wicked and save the righteous. This theme is common in apocalypses, where present suffering is seen as temporary, and divine justice is believed to ultimately prevail. The use of symbolic imagery in the Aramaic Apocalypse is typical of apocalyptic literature. The visions include descriptions of angels descending from heaven to execute divine judgment, as well as images of destruction and renewal. These images reflect the belief that the end times will be marked by catastrophic events that will destroy the world as it is known and transform it into a kingdom of justice and peace under God's rule. The theme of the resurrection of the dead is also central to this apocalypse. Like other eschatological texts, the Aramaic Apocalypse describes how the dead will be resurrected to be judged by God. The righteous will be rewarded with eternal life, while the wicked will be eternally punished. This emphasis on resurrection and the final judgment is characteristic of Jewish apocalyptic literature and reflects the hope that God will bring justice in the afterlife. The Aramaic Apocalypse is a fragmentary text that has been studied primarily in the context of Jewish apocalyptic literature. While it was not widely known or accepted into the biblical canon, its content reflects the eschatological beliefs common in Jewish communities during the Second Temple period. Apocalyptic literature played a crucial role in expressing hopes and fears about the end of times in this era. The text is important for the study of Aramaic apocalyptic literature as it provides a unique insight into the eschatological thinking of Jewish communities living under foreign rule. Although much of the text has been lost, what remains offers valuable information about beliefs concerning the final judgment, the resurrection of the dead, and divine intervention in history. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Give it a like, comment your thoughts, and share this video with your friends and family.